challenges, there is no doubt. One of the biggest challenges really reaching diversity and reaching that true representation of our community. This is something that we are working on at the national level with AOA, and we're working on with the College of Surgeons, but certainly being able to really represent our community in all its diversity, especially in a country like Australia, is one of the biggest goals. And I think we are on the right path. We've got many years to go to, but we are on the right path. And I think that this is a great journey. Doing here is mentorship, and I think that this is a great opportunity for us to show that orthopedics is a surgical specialty that really can reach across the board in medicine. So mentorship and the ability of sponsoring people from the ground up, no matter where they come from, if they have this enthusiasm and this drive towards orthopedics, I think is a very good starting point. There are many other ways, and one of them is also being able to be visible. Visibility again across the board. And women in orthopedics at the moment, we are about just over 4%. So we are increasing, and visibility is one of the other things that can really help reaching new goals. So I think that this is a good way to start, and we will get there, I think, one day. From my perspective, I think I've been very lucky. I have chased my dreams time and time again. I moved cities to be able to go and train in one of the most important orthopedic institutes in Europe and probably around the world, one of the oldest for sure. And then moved here to Australia to once again follow my dreams. So I've been lucky, but sometimes brave as well. And that is something that has paid off for me. So I actually don't have a lot that I would change. I certainly would have liked having more role models that were looking more like me. But once again, I just like to make my own history. So personally, it wasn't a great obstacle for me. And so yeah, I've been lucky, I think, and at the same time, I like to try and not necessarily just inspire other people, but also to show that no matter what you like to do, just chase your dreams, do them, and the road is never straight, from point A to point B, but if that is your dream, you will get there if you work hard enough. It's a great question. So if you asked me this question maybe 5-10 years ago, I would have not known what to answer. But now that I'm a little bit out and a little bit more relaxed in my orthopedic practice, I went back on following again my hobbies and what I love to do. So I used to be a professional water polo player when I was young, and I'm back playing water polo now for a team here in Victoria. We represent Victoria in the Masters, and we managed to actually win last year the Australian Championships Masters in water polo. So that is one of the things that I'm back doing, because I'm now being able to find a little bit more time again. So finding time to be fit again with some triathlon, some gym and water polo is one of the things that I certainly am doing. Other thing that I'm a little bit of a nerd about is I do Lego. I love doing Lego, and I got a little 6-year-old who is becoming even better than me already, and that's a good competition in the house. So 2 things is, 1, being active, and 2, finding some mindfulness in these things like Lego or cooking, things that just require just a nice focus on a very simple task help me. First piece of advice is do not try to emulate anyone and just have your pathway. Often people say, how did you get there, and what did you do? it's a combination of things, and it's simply that sometimes you are at the right place in the right time, and take that opportunity. Be brave and just really sometimes do something that you're not quite sure. In my case, for example, moving to Australia was a massive jump into the unknown, but I felt that was the right thing to do. I might have been wrong, and that's fine. I decided to take that risk, and I accepted that if it was wrong, and that's okay. So take your risks, but also don't think that the road is, as I was saying before, is a straight line, because it never is. It is actually a journey. It's the beauty of the journey. And often, I find myself doing certain things that I'm not quite sure why is at that moment in time, why I find myself in that. And then, a few years later, I realized that actually was the key to unlock some other experiences that I had. And without that little bit of a deviation, I would have not been able to do other things that then I find myself being really, really into and enjoying. So things happen during the career, and I find that, being too rigid sometimes can be detrimental. So accept the deviation, accept the changes, still knowing that there is the big picture in there that is your passion, and don't be afraid of taking risks. That in our profession there are multiple waves, and there are times when really you just need to focus on one thing, because there is literally no time or no energy left to do other things. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I always talk about work-life balance and balance between interests outside work. Having said that, there are times where our focus and our passion is actually on one thing only. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And that cannot last forever, because otherwise we risk the burnout that we really are trying to avoid. But at the same time, there is a time in our career where really all we want to do, and personally all I wanted to do, was just being in theatre and operating and seeing patients and do research. So that was all that I really wanted to do. So on one side, I didn't have the time, but also I didn't have the interest at that time to really follow this. Now, it's not that I don't have the passion anymore for orthopaedics. That still is my passion, and probably is the only thing that I feel I'm capable of doing. But I find that I can now, some of the energy that I have left, I really can refocus them on other things. From orthopedics, and it's waves, and I'm sure that there will be other times when perhaps I will be focusing more on research, and other times when I will just be having a step back and enjoy family and hobbies. So I think this is the beauty of our profession. It gives us the opportunity of pursuing and following our passions, and at the same time, you certainly don't get bored. You certainly do not have the chance of just getting bored, because you do always the same thing. So it's a beautiful thing. See, now I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm starting to enjoy kids' books at the moment because of the age of my kids. So we read all these silly books about bad guys and all these silly things that my son just laughs his head off. So at the moment, these are the ones that come to mind. I'm not a big book nerd or a big movie nerd. I I read just for relaxation. So they are very just relaxing things, and movies at the moment, they're all bloody kids movies, family ones, which are fun. But yeah, I'm kind of, I'm not very good at these things. Yeah. Ask me about sport. Yes. But yeah, no, I'm not, I don't know. Oh, that put me a little bit, I don't know. I needed to prepare this one.